So I'm going to just talk about the front main crankshaft seal and how to install it. So there's two seals that you get for this engine. You get this wider one. This is actually with the N52, but it actually fits in perfectly here. And then you get the one for the N55, which is like this. I don't know what the N54 has, but these two are exactly the same. I mean, you can use either one. It makes no difference. The only difference really is in how to get them out, because when this is in all the way, it's really difficult to remove. And on the N52, the only way I could actually remove this is by removing the hub like it is now, and actually placing a chisel in there and actually hammering this thing out until I could get it to break free. But these things can be completely impossible to remove in any other way. So you really don't want to install these. Now, if you're using some less aggressive seal around it, then it'd probably be fine. So, then if you've got one of these, you can just use it. I really think it's a bad idea to put in the BMW sealer and then install this, because it gets really hard and then this is very difficult to get out, because it's all the surface area that you have that's in contact. The other thing that really doesn't matter at all is these recesses. It doesn't matter where they go. There's some myth that you've got to line the recesses up with a mating line of the block. It makes no difference. So all we're going to do is put some Permatex RTV on here and just put it in. So there's a lot of folklore about the different RTVs. They're actually all the same in terms of their properties. The only difference is really in how long they take to harden, and this is the cheap one, which takes longer to harden, not the one used by shops, because shops want to get the engine out of the shop as fast as possible. But for a home shop, you're going to wait a lot of time, so you don't care how long it takes to harden. So I'm going to put a little bit extra at the join. And then I'm going to put a thin layer around here as well. Now I've cleaned this with alcohol, otherwise it wouldn't actually stick, because this has got some sort of weird oil on it in the packing. Okay, that's all the way around. So now I'm going to clean off my hand. So in goes a threaded rod here. Now this threaded rod is the correct thread and size for this crank. And then the seal goes in like that. So that should just stay there for a minute. Okay, and I've got this Jeep wheel bearing, which I've used the CBN lathe insert to cut out a little bit of a recess here so it matches the seal. And then this side I just made on my lathe, which fits in there nicely. So you can see that this fits in. This is just a very crude tool. And then that goes on there, and then that goes on there. So I know people want to hit on this thing, but I'm not convinced that if you do that, that everything lines up properly. Okay, so now you can see how easy this is. I mean, you don't even need a wrench. You just turn it, and in it goes. And it's perfectly flush as well. I'm just going to clean off my tool. Of course, I'm saying nothing about how you would install the seal if you had the hub already in. That's a completely different story. Okay, so I've just scooped up a little bit of excess. Which is fine. And I can probably just clean this up a bit. Okay, that all looks good. Okay, so that looks very nice. Something else to consider. So right now the next thing to do is to install the hub. I actually previously put this hub on a lathe, and I used a CBN tool to actually machine off the wearing. And you've got to make sure there's no wearing here, because then this will continue to leak. So, I mean, I don't know how you would do that if you don't have a lathe. The other thing to be aware of is there are these washers in here that look like this. So here's a used one. Here is the part number. So you can just pause your video there. Now, the assembly diagram for the N55 actually doesn't show this, but there's 3 of these. There's one between the hub and the first sprocket, there's one between the 2 sprockets, and there's one between the oil pump sprocket and the crankshaft. So, there's 4 mating surfaces here, and there's 3. Sorry, there's 3 gaps in this whole thing, and there must be a washer between each of them. Now these washers are diamond coated for friction, so this is how BMW makes sure this thing doesn't slip. So you've got to have those in there, and you've got to have 3 of them, and they're not in the assembly diagram. And it's very easy to actually drop one into the oil pan if you're doing this in your car. So you've got to make sure these are there. The one between the crankshaft and the oil pump sprocket is actually quite difficult to get to, and you've got to make sure it's in there and you don't drop it into the oil pan when you're trying to install this. Now, on a used engine, that washer will actually be bonded to the metal, so it'll be very difficult to drop actually. because what happens is when enough pressure comes on this thing, this actually sticks. So when you take this off, you'll notice that this one won't come off, and the other one won't come off this sprocket either. You'll actually have to pry them off with a pick if you want to replace them. If you're working on this engine in the engine bay, I don't know how you would replace the one between the crankshaft and the oil pump sprocket. I think you just have to leave it there. But the other two you can replace. So anyway, that's all.